Michigan basketball is allowing more access to the media this year for the first time in a very long time. John Beilein didn't do a ton of it. Juwan Howard wanted to let nobody near his program for obvious reasons. But Dusty May is a different approach with this stuff, which as a fan is really fun. Shout out to Dylan Burkhart. UMHoops.com has a bunch of content covering this open practice that Michigan allowed the media into. And we got roughly 30 minutes of rolling footage, video form of this new look Michigan basketball team. In this video, there is roughly a 15-minute 5-on-5 session. And then there's some drill work, some 3-on-2 stuff as well. But it's the most content and really just the longest form behind the scenes of a practice that I've seen this year. And this Michigan team is very different than last season, very different than any Michigan team I've seen in my life. And there's a lot to like and some questions as well that came from this. So again, you can go to umhoops.com to see it all. Dylan does such a good job over there. I believe all this content is made for his subscribers, and luckily I'm a subscriber, so we were able to see behind the scenes on some of this footage. Cart, what was your first impression of this Michigan team this year?
Well, I think obviously outside of giving or outside of talking about individual players, which I think we'll do in this video, just kind of setting the scene for like what I think we saw here. There was a, I think there was a very there was a big point of emphasis on running. Like I feel like it was like go, 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 get up and down. Whoever's getting the ball, like if you're a Yaxel, if you're anybody, anybody outside Mara, I feel like tried to push it or Merez, but they were trying to get up and down, get going. I think there was obviously given that point of practice, it seems like some guys are running out of steam a little bit, but the point remained the same. It seemed that Dusty wanted his team to run, get up and down. And, if they can get an easy shot, whether it be from three or a quick shot or a better shot from three or down low, they wanted to run and get out and run. Um, I saw some real good stuff. I was very impressed with Mara in this film. I thought that he did a lot as far as like being the initiator. And, we talked a lot about like who's going to take the Danny Wolf role. And it is going to be Yak, so don't get me wrong. But it seemed to be an emphasis on like Mara being the guy who was initiating stuff from the top of the key. He's also just like a massive human being. Like when they did pick and roll stuff and he goes to the hoop, if you throw it up near there, he's most likely gonna catch it and dunk it or just catch it and finish. He's a massive human being and he can, do some things as far as affecting shots on the other end as well. Um, Wanted more Yaxel, I think, as a watcher of these clips, just seeing more from him. I thought the ball would be in his hands a little bit more, and I guess you could speak on like how the teams were split up and things like that. But yeah, I think there was a lot of good and some bad you can nitpick here and there, but uh Mara stuck out for me right away when we first talked about it. And also gotta throw it out there, like Will Cheddar was getting him up in these clips, which respect to him for doing so. My guy was all about the shot value.
Yeah, I can go player by player and just offer like quick thoughts because I think the nice thing about what UM Hoops documented here and what Michigan allowed people to cover here is that it really is a really long form look at this, right? Like more so than basically any other program that has allowed access this summer. Like a 30-minute video, there's good and bad for every player. Normally, like a 3-minute video, you might see a bunch of good in 3 minutes from one guy and no bad. Like there's good and bad for basically every Michigan player in this video. But let me give some broad general takeaways first. Dusty May also with this did like a huge day of interviews. So there's all these long form quotes to the media that were in attendance from Dusty on this team. And the big broad takeaway from Dusty felt like he kept saying and doubling down on the fact that this team is even more unique than last year. And obviously, Michigan had a really unique approach trying to play two 7-footers together. Danny Wolf was a mismatch for everyone in the country, and playing him with Vlad just made it a singular challenge of trying to prepare to face Michigan. And for Dusty to keep using that word unique, this team is more unique than last year, really intrigues me because I think you could argue they were the most unique team in the sport last year, just with how you had to prepare for them. Dusty feels that they can almost mold into different versions that are even harder to prepare for this year. And I think he might be right because my broadest takeaway from watching this long form video is not necessarily that Michigan's going to be incredible or that they have issues. It's that there's like 30 different versions of what this team could be because of how deep they are and how many different options they are. Like Cart, they could play a 7'3" dude and run offense through him at the top where he's the passer. They could bench Mara and play Merez and Yaxel together and just go all in on being the best rebounding team in the sport and get out and run and be this up and down transition team. You could play Cadeau at point guard and spam him in ball screens. You have one of the biggest assist guys in the sport. You could play Namari Burnett and Trey McKinney and Winters Grady together and have three shooters in the backcourt. You could let LJ Kaysen rock and have this, I don't know, ball hunting guy who looked pretty dynamic in this video. We haven't even really talked about how much you could feature Yaxel in the Danny Wolf role, and that's obviously Michigan's best player. There are so many different molds of this team that is probably true that Dusty's saying this team's more unique than last year, because last year, even though Danny Wolf was unique, he was what was unique about it, right? It was you have one really unique player. It wasn't like Michigan had all these different looks they could throw at you. It was we have one really unique player, and this is an interesting way to go about it. If Trey Donaldson struggles, we don't have an answer. Like, good luck, Justin Pippen in your 4 minutes. Like, that was it. And at the end of the season, that's part of why Michigan really struggled was their backcourt was struggling. Roddy Gale was awful, and we had no backup option. Trey Donaldson hit a wall, and they did not have other options. So, like, from a starting point, you have to just give Dusty credit or applaud him. He retained key pieces that I think no one's really talking about. Like Namari Burnett's awesome. He's
Mhm.
back and making shots in this video. Roddy Gale, you're hoping obviously bounces back, but at minimum, having a veteran dude like that back is important to this team. Cheddar is going to matter as a shot maker on this team, and Kaysen from year one to year two has a chance to break out and really be something. This feels like a more continuity based approach than I think I thought it would because those four are sort of your foundation. And then you mix in a really strong freshman class and arguably the best portal class in the country. All at once, this team is deep as hell. And they're not deep in the sense of we have a lot of good front court players. They're deep in the sense that everyone that is deep does something different for them. They can throw so many different looks at you. And I think that was screaming as the biggest takeaway from watching this team for 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah, I think that to your point, there's something about like I feel like with basketball, we always talk about like, you know, what a team's vision is going to be, kind of like how do you check a team, but we don't necessarily talk about like how do you prepare for that team too. Like to your point, getting guys that are low key back, like a Namari. Honestly, Namari for me, a little bit more important than Gale, given, we thought Gale was going to lead, but like what Namari brings, the amount of experience, skill set, and kind of what he's just signing up for, it gives Dusty like a safety net or safety blanket at that spot where I think he can depend on that guy. But there is sometimes the toughest teams to play are the teams that are kind of hard to prepare for that you can't figure out because they do have the versatility to do a lot of different things, or you can't pinpoint what exactly that team is going to do. And if Michigan's able to have the personnel that they have, right, and guys are able to kind of do different things, and to your point, maybe it's a Yaxel thing, maybe it's Amara's getting some stuff there. All of a sudden, like maybe one of the freshman guards is also a guy that can come off and do something, or even a an LJ Kaysen who, I think both of us believe that he is going to be a guy. But it's just like when is it going to happen? Um, it's gonna make it tough to prepare for Michigan because there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. It's not just a Yaxel or bust team.
Yeah. And just so many different personnel looks they can give you, right? Because last year they felt very thin at guard, and that was the whole talking point. This year, if you're viewing the guard spots as like the one, the two, and the three, you've got Cadeau, you've got Kaysen, you've got McKinney, you've got Grady, you've got Burnett, you've got Gale, and you can even slide Yaxel down and play the three. There's nothing thin about that, right? And it wasn't like a crazy remodel. All they really did was swap out Donaldson, but I don't know. I watched this and just had such a different feel of what Michigan can do at those spots compared to last year where they felt really, really limited at times. I would say this is a different way to view it too, but I was thinking about this last night after watching it. Sometimes when you try and replace great players, Vlad was awesome at Michigan. Danny was really, really electric and one of one. When you try to replace great players, even if you like what's coming back or what's new, there's a big question or even just a feel when you watch a practice of like there's a presence that's missing, right? Like I would have
Mm.
if you watched Illinois even in practice right now, I think you'd be hard not to think of like, damn, who's gonna fill Kasparis' shoes? Or if you watch Michigan State, I think it's really about who's gonna be the Jace. I don't watch this Michigan team at all and be like, who's the Danny? Because they have so many different new things that I don't even think they want to try and replace the Danny. And if they did, you could do it with Yaxel, but I was just surprised by that. I thought I would have that feel of like, wow, what's gonna replace this? And I don't. It's just something completely new and different and really intriguing to me. I do want to do some player specific stuff quickly. One more broad takeaway from me. I think this team's gonna be really high on assist rate nationally because obviously Cadeau is a great assist rate guy. Even North Carolina's teams were big on assist rate stuff. Regardless of if you think Cadeau is or is not going to be awesome at Michigan or awful, either way, Mara's like passing a ton in these videos. They're using Yaxel a little bit as a passer. Like the one team that had Mara, Cadeau, Kaysen, Merez, and Namari was like I don't know, just almost overpassing the ball in the scrimmage to me. So I don't know. I kind of assumed that Cadeau would spam ball screens and be a big time assist guy. I don't think I realized that like a team with Mara, Yaxel, and Cadeau all in big roles is probably going to be really elite at passing. Does that map with you mentally?
It does, but the part that doesn't is if Cadeau doesn't have the ball in his hands and isn't passing, that he can't play. Like he's kind of like a net negative out there, I guess. Like I think
Fair.
I feel good about Yaxo playing off somebody else. I even feel good about Mara because like he can be set up for lobs and do the other stuff. Um, it just it doesn't, I guess, excite me like when Cadeau doesn't have the ball in his hands. Also, Cadeau looked gassed
Yeah, we'll
in
talk
this
about
one.
that.
He might have been the most gassed player on the floor.
Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. But yeah, I don't. You might be right. Maybe it just manifests itself into like a 20 minute a game role for Cadeau. I would obviously be happy with that and like that outcome as a non-Cadeau believer. And then when he's off the floor, maybe Kaysen runs point and you run more through Mara. That seems like a doable thing. But I guess the point for me is like I think they have a lot of really high level passers on the team that for their position are like really unselfish, really good assist rate guys. So a lot of different ways you can attack that if you're Dusty. Now to the player specific stuff for me. I will preface by just quickly saying this, and I told Cart this. As far as I can tell, the way this was ran, it was like a 2 or 3 hour open practice with a lot of drill work, and then they let them film at the end, or this footage came at the end. And you can see everybody looks really tired. Like in the 5-on-5 portion of this, everyone's gassed. You can literally hear Dusty in the video and see him on the sidelines screaming to push the pace. Like it seemed like he just wanted to push in transition as crazy as possible every time. He was blowing the whistle, calling turnovers on Kaysen when he walked the ball up court one possession.
Hmm.
So to me, a big part of this was like everyone's really tired at the end of a 3 hour practice trying to be forced to just force the ball up the floor. And it was almost humorous how much Dusty was forcing them to do it while they were gassed. But psycho move from my head coach to like have that be what everyone's filming when everyone's clearly gassed. At the same time, not great that everyone looked gassed. Would love to see some guys be conditioned a little better. Cadeau looked really tired in this video to me. Mara and Merez had moments where they looked pretty tired. Even Yaxel was like kind of floating and a little uninvolved for me on this. So I don't know. Maybe that's what Dusty wanted and was really getting people tired here, but did not look like the most conditioned team in July to me.
Yeah, well, it's July for sure. It's nice outside, and that's definitely they'll get there, and part of it is you got to think about it like this too. If they let's say they were like running gassers, you know what I'm saying, do like up and downs or some type of like running conditioning, guys would be looking gassed, right? But this is their form of conditioning. like
Yeah.
just getting up and down, which is any basketball player knows way better. Much rather do this.
Yeah.
Much rather like the conditioning be like just get up and down and hoop.
Yeah. Player stock stuff from me. Do you want to just quickly give like maybe biggest, I don't know, stock up, stock down guys from this video for you? Today's video is sponsored by LabCorp On Demand. Car, do you take care of yourself?
I try my best to, yeah.
Like not just treat yourself to expensive meals, but like you go to the doctor and things like that?
No, I just take care of myself. There's no need to go to the doctor unless I'm not taking care of myself, right?
Are you afraid of the doctor, Cart?
Just a little bit. I mean, if nothing's wrong, why would I go there?
Listen, I'm the same way, and so are millions of men across America. But that's why LabCorp On Demand is helping millions of people like us. With their men's health test, you can get a comprehensive look at your hormone levels, your total testosterone, and you don't even have to go to the doctor. It's easy, and you get the results the next day.
Testosterone, is that like a is that a big thing?
It's a really important thing, Cart. Sometimes you can feel off without even knowing something's wrong. But LabCorp On Demand wants to keep you healthy and wants to make it as easy as possible. Right now, you can get 20% off your men's health test by visiting our sponsor at tryelco.com/sleepersmedia. It's simple, affordable, and honestly, it's empowering to know that you're healthy and have this info about your body.
Didn't know that testosterone did all those things. I'm gonna have to take the guesswork out of this and go get my health checked out today using LabCorp on demand. No order. I think Mara's for sure in there. Honestly, Will Cheddar's in there for me too. I think he's gonna have a role on this team as a guy that just shoot the ball. Um, I would say I'd probably put like guys like Namari and even Kaysen in there. I thought they had some moments. Stock down, um, Cadeau, probably Merez. And honestly, feels negative to say stock down, but only because I wanted to see more. I just wanted more Yaxel in
Yeah.
this video with like the ball in his hands, maybe. So probably that. If he probably if you know put that in the stock down category.
Completely agree with the way you bucketed these guys. And again, I don't think there's massive stock up or down for anyone here. More or less, this was kind of like not far off my expectation. The biggest, like, this guy looks better than expected for me is Mara. Mara looks good. And I'm not a Mara guy. When he committed, I basically said I expect Merez to take his lunch. Based on everything I've seen, that's not happening. Now, we've only seen one practice and some other footage, but like, Mara's pretty damn unique, and he's just massive. I mean, you watch this footage, and Merez looks smaller than Yaxel. Mara is legitimately 7'3". Mara is being used in a facilitating role on this team, playing next to Merez. He looks good, and he's just a lob threat because of how big he is. And one thing I would say, even if we weren't all that impressed with Cadeau in this, and if we were impressed with Mara, either way, I think it is pretty evident watching those two were a team. The one team here was Cadeau, Kaysen, Namari, Merez, and Mara. And then you had Yaxel with Roddy Gale, the freshmen, McKenney and Grady, and then Cheddar. I think they were trying to even teams, but to me, the Mara team felt like the better team here. One thing I would say is Cadeau's never played with a lob threat like Mara.
Mm,
Mara's never played with a passer like Cadeau. And I think those two are going to help each other a lot because they had pretty good chemistry in this, even if Cadeau didn't look all that great to us. He had a couple really nice lobs to Mara. Mara's still not coordinated to me. Like he'll
hmm
catch the ball and not know what to do with it and kind of get into no land. But I don't know. One thing you can't teach is he's 7'3" and can go up and catch a poster over three other guys, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely got that. Can I get a current day stand what the starting lineup is for Michigan next season?
Think it's going to be Cadeau. Think it's going to be Man, I think right now it's got to be Namari and Gale. I think Namari is really good in making shots, and he can't come out of the lineup. And I think based on what we saw in this video, they're treating Gale like it's his spot still. Like they're pairing him with Yaxel, trying to make it fair teams. He was kind of running point for the other team. I thought he looked good, to be honest. I would put him in my stock up category. It looks like the yips are gone at least in the summer.
Mm,
He made a couple threes in this video, and kind of was flying around being the athlete we know he can be. So, yeah, to me, I think they probably go Cadeau, the two veterans, and then Yaxel and Mara.
Yeah, Samara.
Mara looks like the best big to me, and it's not what I want to happen, but he looks like the best big to me right now. And then, I mean, man, if Merez is coming off the bench, you're going to have issues with happiness. But
That'd be something to watch Dusty operate that.
for
But
sure. Kaysen, though, still really involved because Kaysen looked better than Cadeau. And they were on the same team to me, and Kaysen was running point for that team for the most part.
yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see like what his role is with the other, like obviously with Cadeau in the fold.
He had 3 or 4 steals. I thought he looked like the best defensive guard in the scrimmage portion. Hit a three. Um, I don't know. I'm not saying like breakout superstar stuff, but I think he is very much in the mix for like a big starter role right now. We'll see. Quickly from me, McKenny. I liked what I saw. Physically, he's ready. He hit a couple jumpers. Look, jumpers really good. You can just tell there's a learning curve from like just going from high school ball to like trying to fit into this pace at a practice with all these bigger veteran type dudes. I
Mhm.
don't think he's going to have a crazy on court role. Like I did theorize at one point, what if he just starts and is like better than Gale? I think he's going to just be like a bench shooter and that's it. Winters Grady looked a full step slow in this processing wise.
Yeah, he just kind of looked just a little bit out of place. Like I don't think anyone looked like completely out of place, but like I'm a big Winters guy, and in a clip where a lot of guys were knocking down shots from three, it was very evident that he wasn't kind of there.
Yeah. Cadeau's going to drive me crazy. I want to get that on record. This is where it really settled in for me watching this full video. I have to root for this.
No, there was so many Cadeau just moments in this, like just everything about it, like just the driving into like nine people, tossing his head back, throwing it up, three nowhere close, but then finishes one clip like banking in like a damn near three quarter
He
quarter or like a
banked in the
half
buzzer
quarter.
beater three from the logo, and that was the only positive play he made in the first half of the scrimmage. Like he was leading Mara into turnovers. He was totally disengaged in the half court. He was just letting Kaysen do everything and just standing there. Um, I will say, like when he does get involved in the action, his vision is stupid good. Like, but I think we knew that. Like he's throwing passes. I think the way Dusty turned it was like he makes passes other people don't even see. I think that's true, but it was leading Mara into like travels because Mara didn't know what to do with it once he got it. So his jumper is not going to get there. By the way, like his that's just not a part of his game. You can just go under on every single Elliott Cadeau screen, and I really don't know. Have you ever had a player like this? Like you know this. Cadeau was my least favorite player in the country last year, and now he's my starting point guard on a team I think could win a championship. What am I supposed to do with that? Have you ever had a player you dislike this much, like in a role for your program?
Well, how much? Yeah, maybe a separate video.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, do I just have to get there? Can I get there, Cart? I don't know what I do here.
Yeah, well, you won't. Just don't try. You're not gonna get there.
That's going to be so hard for me.
But you'll get one game though.
You think so?
Yeah, you'll get a Cadeau game.
I mean, if he just like, I don't know, if he just proves me wrong, maybe I could get there. But I did the early return from this, I did not like. And I think Michigan fans disagree with me in the forum, but I was like, this looks awful from Cadeau. Last note from me, and this is a real concern I have, a very real concern. How concerned should I be that the takeaways on some of the best performers in the summer and in this video are like Roddy Gale, Ade Mara, Namari Burnett? Those seem like the kind of consensus three biggest winners. I feel really concerned that the guys that look the best are not the guys Michigan wants to look the best. Like, if you had asked me coming into this, who do we want to look dominant in the practice video? I would have said Yaxel, Cadeau, Merez. And instead, we're like, Yaxel was really quiet. He was floating. Elliott looked bad. And Merez is not as good as Mara. To me, that's a major red flag. Like a major red flag. I cannot point to this team and be like national title good because Roddy Gale and Namari Burnett look really great right now. That makes no sense to me. But at the same time, it's good that the role players look good right now. I'm just already having like identity problems with this team. So should it be a red flag for me that it's the wrong guys that look awesome right now, or am I overthinking this?
I think you're overtaking it a little bit. Maybe just take it as like the guys that you don't like. Maybe the guys you didn't expect to do something are doing something, and Yaxel's going to be Yaxel. But I will say this: now it's time to. We say this with a lot of different programs. Looking at Michigan's social media program, we got like a little Mara clip. Can we get a Yaxel footage? Can I get 1 minute and 37 seconds, preferably? Keep it under 2 minutes, please, of Yaxel. Yaxel is doing Yaxel things.
I'd like that.
That's all I want.
I'd like that. Yeah, I'd like that. I'd also I'm gonna be needy here. Can we just get something good from Merez on camera too? I need his spirits to be taken care of at all times.
Did you peep the one time that Merez got the board and tried to push and
Oh yeah.
it just got like he like went into like two guys and I think someone just took it from him basically.
Yeah, Car, in the middle of it, I started screen recording it because I thought it was going to be the clip I could use to laugh at Illinois fans. Like, see, we let him do this. And then he just dribbled straight into a turnover.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be something.
Yeah, the issue with Merez is that he wants to be something he can't do.
And
And
that's that and sorry, now this is gonna get us off on a tangent. There is nothing one more frustrating as a fan, as a coach. And honestly, like we could talk about it as a teammate, then when your teammate is trying to do something that they cannot, like it's like stop. Stop doing that's not what you're supposed to do.
but he's still really good at what he is. Like he still had good moments in this of
But
just like running
that
the
that
floor and
that's what
yeah,
makes it frustrating. Dude,
for
just
sure.
do what you're good. Like I understand to do what you're good at though. Like that's what made you who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not to dip back into my food pool here being a fat ass, but like dog, go to your bread and butter.
I find it really interesting that they're playing him on the squad with Mara. Don't you find that interesting?
That
Like
are playing Merez with Mara.
they're not having Merez and Mara go toe to toe in practice right now. They're
That's
having
that's intentional though, isn't it?
well, I don't know. I mean, in one sense, they're having Merez go toe to toe with Yaxel, which is good for Merez, I think. Like guard the best player, be a pest. That's good. And Merez is probably the only guy in the Michigan roster that can make things difficult on Yaxel. So maybe part of us being like Yaxel was quiet is honestly a credit to Merez. I don't know. But I just like one of these two has to start at center, right? They're not going to start Mara, Merez, and Yaxel and bench Gale, are they? That'd be a little unorthodox.
Hey, never completely count them out.
I don't know. Don't you find that interesting though? It's like is that just to satisfy Merez? Do you think Merez is happy he's playing next to Mara? Because in this practice, Mara's doing all the things Merez said he wanted to do.
I don't think Merez is ever happy.
No,
No, it's just a constant, just like
he seems happy right now. He's not pouting yet.
he looked tired. I think he's too tired to be mad.
He had a really nice. He put both arms in the air when Mara caught a lob from Cadeau.
He did do that. He
They
did
do
do that.
that.
What a teammate.
What a teammate. Overall stock up, down the same for Michigan.
Uh, I will say, I'll say same, lean up. Definitely can't be down though. I just
Top
want, I just want more Yaxel.
top what team in the sport?
Top 12.
Okay. I'm going stock the same. I'd put them like 11 to 15 right now. Also, last red flag. One of Dusty's questions he was asked was, the big question on this roster is shooting. You didn't really address the shooting with your portal ads. Like, what's your answer? You didn't shoot it well last year. Where's the shooting? And his answer was, well, yeah, we got some guys we think can shoot it better than they have, but if we miss shots, we just need to be a dominant offensive rebounding team. Don't love that answer in July. If we miss all our shots, we'll just get all the rebounds.
I mean, maybe though.
I mean, it's what they're going to have to do, but don't love that that's my coach's answer right now.
Yeah, it's tough.
This video is brought to you by NBA 2K Labs or maybe college football labs because the people behind 2K Labs have just built something awesome. CFBLabs.com has everything you need to play college football 26 even better. Cart, you've been playing the game, right?
I have been, but I'm behind the eight ball, Gregory. There's a lot of people out there who got a little bit of edge on me, but the good folks over at 2K Labs got me covered. They got the playbooks I need, the plays, the head-to-head coaches, knowing some teams. Obviously, way too many college football teams. I need the inside edge here, and they got all different types of things to help me get that edge.
Yeah, I jumped in and started playing Road to Glory over the weekend, and I ended up like a two-star recruit that did not get one snap in season one because I chose the wrong school with the wrong roster that was way too loaded. Had I known that CFBLabs.com exists, I would have made a much more wise decision in my Road to Glory mode. They've got teams, playbooks, coaches, team comparison tools. You can literally see every single play in the game, every player in the game, their rating, what they're good at, all in one consolidated place online to help you make the right choices and win more games in college football 26. CFBLabs.com. Go check it out.